I know that when you turn this thing on, the GPZ 8000, it looks pretty complicated, but it's not. In the next few minutes, I'll show you. I simplified it, broke it into 3 different sections. We'll talk about the screen, the menu, the settings, and in 20 minutes from now, you'll know everything there is to know about this, and you'll be shocked at how simple it really is. All right, got the headphones on, nice and comfortable. Got the cord on the left ear, make sure you do that. Before we get started, I want to take a second to say that today's video is sponsored by metaldetectingshop.com. Give Ryan a call for anything that you need, including getting one of these guys in your hands. Go down in the description and click that link. All right, so here's the screen on the GPZ 8000. Looks pretty intimidating when you look at it in the menu, but it's actually not. They designed it to be very simple, and we're going to break it down into 3 parts. Section 1 is going to be talking about all the buttons and controls and the screen itself, what it's showing you. Section 2 is going to be talking about this black line right here on the bottom with these 3 little icons. And then section 3 is going to be when you hold this cogwheel and the center up arrow here, it goes into the menu section. And that's it. There's only 3 parts to this metal detector. So what looked intimidating at first is actually very simple. Let's go ahead and start with section 1. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what I'm calling section 1. That's the controls, the buttons, and what the screen is showing you. So we'll start over here on the left side of the control pod. There's a rubber button right here. If you tap it, you'll see a blinking icon up here on the screen. And that is trying to connect to the WM14 wireless module. If you've never connected before, you're going to have to shut it off, hold it in, it'll go into pairing mode. And when it goes into pairing mode, it'll connect for the first time to the wireless module. Once it's been connected, the next time you turn the machine on, you should be able to just single click, quick click, and it'll connect right to it. We'll shut that off for now. The next soft button down here on the left side of the control pod is for the backlight. You have medium, bright, off, and low. We're going to leave it on low now because it looks better on camera. If you hold it in, it's the flashlight. You can see that the flashlight shut off. Let's turn it back on. And we can adjust the flashlight later in the settings, but for now we'll leave the flashlight on. And then there's a couple soft buttons over here on the right side of the control pod. They're both rubber. There's an up and a down for volume. So you can turn the volume down or up with these little rubber buttons. We'll turn it down a little bit, turn it back up. Then we have some buttons down here. We have the on-off button. We have the user definable button. You can assign something to this, so you have quick access to it. Then you have a soft button for the mode, detecting modes, soft button for noise cancel, and then you have navigation buttons of up and down, left and right. There's also a button underneath in the front back here. It's a trigger. It's right behind this part right here, and that's for your ground balance. And that's basically it for the buttons. And as far as what you're seeing on the screen, let's talk about that next. You can see the ESP audio is blinking up here, which means it's on. You can see the sensitivity ring is filled all the way up here to the manual max. All right, speaking of sensitivity, let's talk about how you adjust that. From the detecting screen where we're at right now, you can use this left arrow and right arrow. The left arrow goes down to the lowest segment, and then you can step through the segments up with the right arrow until you get to this part. And by the way, that's maximum manual sensitivity. If you go to the green, you're letting the machine choose the sensitivity for you. And the first green segment there will give you a pretty conservative setting based on what it thinks should be the maximum sensitivity to get the most out of the circuit. The next one gives you that plus a little extra. But if you want to be in control, just back off till it's all black, and that way you know you've manually set the sensitivity to where you want it. And then you can also see what detecting mode we're in. You can see down here the mineralization bar or the conductivity bar. But that's it for what we're looking at right now. Let's go ahead and go to the next section when we're talking about this little black bar right here. All right, let's talk about section 2 now. I'm going to call this black bar right here section 2. It's the action bar. You have the mode, where you can change your detecting mode by toggling through all 4. Then we'll hit the back. And once you return back to the action bar, you can see over here, you have noise cancel. You can click that, start noise canceling. You can also stop it. And then if you hold the up arrow on the setup cogwheel, it goes into what I'm going to call section 3. Let's go ahead and talk about that right now. All right, this is what I call section 3. This is basically where all your settings are at. They toggle from left to right. Let's go ahead and take a look at each one of these real quick. All right, for more information on this incredible new gold detector, take a look at this video right here. This is the best and most complete video on the 8000 on YouTube right now. We have several interviews one-on-one with the lead engineer who designed this machine, talking about the concepts of the radical new design of this machine and walking you through all the settings. If you're thinking about buying this machine, or you already have, you have to watch this video. All right, this is what I call section 3. This is basically where all your settings are at. They toggle from left to right. Let's go ahead and take a look at each one of these real quick. But before we do that, I just want to go back and say one more time that you've seen everything there is to see now on this machine, believe it or not. You have the buttons, what you're seeing on the screen, then you have your action bar, and basically just your settings, and that's it. Nothing scary here at all. Very simple. In fact, one of the most simple interfaces I've ever seen on a modern metal detector. So let's go ahead and dive into the settings real quick. The first icon in here is your ground balance, your tracking. You can see that it's on right now because it's red. And if I toggle up or down, you can see that I've shut it off. It has the line going through it. Let's turn it back on. So with it off, you can still manually ground balance with this trigger in the front. But if you want it to automatically be tracking the ground, you're going to want it on. And it's that simple. It's just on and off. The next icon is this one. This is our noise cancel. And you'll notice that the engineers laid these out in this order on purpose, because you would start in the field by turning on your tracking or not. The next thing you'd want to do right away is a noise cancel. And you do this from this screen right here. And you can manually adjust it to whatever you want, or you can make it really easy and just hit this button right here, and it'll automatically start searching for all the signals around the area, looking for EMI, other machines that are on, any interference at all, and finding a good clean channel to work from. I'm going to go ahead and stop that procedure right now because I'm indoors right next to a computer and there's all kinds of EMI in here. So I can click that and stop it immediately from this point on. But that's basically how you would do manual noise cancel from within here by changing it with these arrows, compared to the automatic noise canceling from here. And the third icon over is your threshold volume. It goes from 0 to 15. And default is 6. And basically what this does is it gives you a hum in your ears, and it lets your ear catch tiny variations. That means that it could be a target because it's varying the sound. Instead of just pure dead silence, this is very powerful for you to be able to hear a gold nugget at depth. This next one is your threshold pitch. It goes from 1 to 10. And it changes the pitch of that threshold. Factory is 5, but it's really just your own personal preference of what you want to set it to, whatever your ears like and what's ever comfortable. 5 is default. And this next one is your volume limit. It goes from 1 to 10. And again, factory is 5. And it shows you that how loud big targets scream at you without touching the volume of quiet ones. It kind of protects your ears without losing small signals. So your volume limit clips the loud targets and brings them down a little bit so that they're not as loud and they don't scream at you at lower settings. If you have it up higher, those big loud targets are going to be loud and big, and they are going to scream at you. So you're going to want to set that somewhere that works for you. Like I said, 5 is default, and that's what I leave it at. This next icon is very important. This is your Echosonic Pro Audio, the ESP. And you turn it on and off with the arrows. Got the cut through it, it's off. The red, it's on. It's very important because it gives you stereo ground information. That's left and right ears on your headphones actually hear different things about the mineralization versus the conductivity. Very powerful feature of this machine. This next setting is for your flashlight. I told you there's a little more control over that earlier. Here it is. If you hold this in, turn the flashlight on, you can adjust 3 different levels of brightness with the up and down arrows. We'll go ahead and turn the flashlight off. And this next icon is the Backlight Timeout. So right now I have it set on 60 seconds. You can lower it down to 30, 20, 10, and then from there incrementally down to 1 second or 0. So I'm going to turn it all the way back up so that we don't time out while we're going through this class here. But keep in mind that this can drain your battery. So if you leave this on 60 and you don't need it to be on 60, it's battery saving to have it down to something that makes more sense, like 10. This next icon is your mineralization level. It's off right now, but the up and down arrows can turn it on or off. Let's take a look out here on the main screen real quick. You'll see there's nothing down here in the bottom middle right now because it's off. But if we go back in there and turn that on and come back out, you can see now that there's a bar down here with a green dot in there. And that will show you how mineralized the ground actually is. This is really useful for reading the soil changes as you're walking around. So certain areas you might have brown dirt. As you cross into red dirt, you might want to look down and just keep an eye on that because it could be changing and it'll give you a clue how mineralized the ground is that you're standing on. All right, and here it is. It's the last item in this list of settings here. This is a user definable key down here, and this is where you set what that key does. So you can see the little red arrow there. If you click that, you can choose any one of these 3 things. Now this first one is ESP audio, and you click this and it'll shut it off or turn it on. And we'll go to the next one. This one here is the detecting mode, and to change that you got to hit this little pencil, and here you can pick whatever mode you want to jump to quickly with this button down here. So you could be in this mode, but if you want to go to this mode, you just click that while you're detecting and it'll jump right over to that mode. And then lastly, we have tracking on and off. And that's it. Basically, you could just turn your auto track on or off quick with the button push, change the mode, and or turn your ESP on and off. And that's what that last icon does. And that is it, guys. You made it through the whole entire menu system on the final part. And I mean, we took a very intimidating and scary looking menu system here and just all of a sudden the epiphany of how simple this thing really is. So I hope that you got a grip on everything that we just went over. If not, just go back and watch it again. But man, that's it. Super simple. You know, earlier when we were talking about this button right here, the Bluetooth button, we were talking about the wireless module, the WM14. Here's what that looks like. To pair it for the first time, we're going to turn it on and hold the button in and watch this light over here. Let's see what this light does when we hold the power button in. Keep it held in. And now you get that sound with the blinking red and blue. It's in pairing mode. We'll hold in the Bluetooth to put it in pairing mode. And a quick connection is made. So that's how quick it will pair. And from that point on, all you have to do is turn this on normally. Let's do that real quick. We'll shut it off. You have to hold it to shut it off. There we go. We'll turn it on regular. And it's on with the regular blue, no blue and red blinking because we didn't keep it held in. We just turned it on. And a quick press over here to turn this on. It's a quick connection. A real quick connection. So that's how you pair the WM14. All right, it is warm out here today. Quick recap on the machine. Power it on, quick track, noise cancel, and you're off and detecting. The ground type and the sensitivity are right there on the front screen. Everything else you can get to now on that settings menu. I took the time to read the owner's manual, talk to the lead engineer several times. I've made a couple videos already on this machine, and I'm passing it all on to you today. If you appreciate me doing that, I would appreciate if you could give me a like and or a subscribe on the channel. Also go down in the comments, feel free to ask any questions down there. I do read all my comments and try to answer all my comments as well. In fact, I'll see you guys down in the comments. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for stopping by. See ya.